welcome to Just Us Link in the customer service after show.
Hey everybody.
So, what'd you think?
I thought it was actually pretty good. I think we had a really good flow going on, and I think that it actually went faster than some of our other ones have.
Yeah. I think we're getting used to doing it. This is our I think six. You said
6, yep.
six. So yeah, I think we're getting used to it. We're getting more comfortable.
Yeah.
We're moving along a little quicker.
Yeah, it's slowly but surely going to get better.
I hope it can't get worse, can it?
No.
Oh my goodness! I hope I hope we don't get worse. Mikey, that's going to be a pure reflection on you if we get worse.
How dare you?
What?
That was rude.
I know that we just covered customer service and we were talking about rude customers. So,
But I'm not a customer.
oh, so that actually draws me to a good question: is it okay to be rude to people that are not helping you?
I would say no.
So I have to go back to those auditing videos, and some of them start out really nice, but some of those auditors just right off the bat,
Yeah.
just nasty. And I don't, man, you'd get so much further with being nice to people.
You would, yeah. And I wish a lot of people would start realizing that, because it would make things just a little bit easier nowadays.
Yeah, so now I do have a list here. It's the 20 large companies known for having the worst customer service. So my question would be, what would make you go to these companies that have the worst customer service ratings? What makes you continue to go there?
I would say if you have a contract with them, because then you have to
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you have a contract, yep.
so you could get penalized if you leave them or go somewhere or break that contract.
Or if you have a credit card for them and
Yeah.
you're stuck there. Mikey, do you have any?
Like, maybe if they have, good prices? Or, give you good deals?
Yep. Yeah. That's what when I looked at this list, that's what I came up with is cheap. If they're cheap, you get in and out of there and they're cheap, they'll do it. So we're going to go through this list. It's 20 of them, okay?
Okay.
All right, top of the list, number 20, Bank of America.
Interesting.
Yeah, that kind of blew my mind there that's number 20. They said here Bank of America has the most of its customers complaining of fraudulent activities and general lack of concern for its customers.
I can see that, yeah.
I can too. I mean, I could see if you got hacked or fraud. Now there's these little things that, and it's happened. I've gotten a call. If I go out of town, we go out of town quite a bit.
Yeah.
If I don't notify my credit card company, sometimes I get that call and say, "Hey, we just want to make sure this is you."
Yeah, we've gotten a few of those.
So I think that's good customer service
Yeah.
there. So number 19, Albertsons Companies. Now, do you know what Albertsons is?
It's a grocery store.
It is a grocery store.
We actually used to have them here.
Did we? Okay. Mike, you didn't know what a Albertsons was?
No.
They're a large.
I thought they were pretty non-existent anymore, to be honest.
Mostly they're in California.
Oh, okay.
I hear a lot about in California. They are just, I don't know if it's just they're rude or, but they made number 19.
Wow.
Number 18. This is a good one. You see what that one is?
That's a shocker.
Right. Can you guess what number 18 is, Mikey?
United?
Nope. It's United is the first word, though. It's the United States Postal Service.
Really?
Yep, they're number 18.
I can see that, though.
Well, we had that one guy that was speeding through the neighborhood, and I went out there and talked. I went over there and said, "Hey, can you slow down?" And he just came unglued with me. I guess they called. Well, I'm glad we have the fans going on in here.
Yeah,
I think
me
that was
too.
Raven.
Yes, it was.
Silent but deadly.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, that guy went unhinged. So, I mean, gives a whole meaning to going postal,
Yeah.
They're
And
known for
I
it.
think they've been, I've never had issues with, the few times I've had to go to the post office. But that was 10, 15 years ago. But the few times I've had to go the last couple times, well, I guess after COVID, I mean, there's really not a lot of people there anyway, but I would say a couple years probably pre-COVID. I mean, there's always long lines. There wasn't enough people, and then just sometimes you got that, what do you want? Or what can I do for you? You know, it wasn't like,
They weren't happy to be there.
yeah,
That's the one thing is if you're not happy with your job, you're not going to give people good customer service.
right.
We have people like that that work for us that just just have that like bad attitude, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not going to make it very far. At least fake it.
Didn't you tell somebody that like last week or the week before? I think on one of your team meetings, I heard you say something. Something about not giving 100%.
Yeah. Oh, one of our scores, we have to get like our scores at a certain thing. And someone said, oh, thank goodness they lowered that. I'm like, first and foremost, if you're not giving 100%, you're failing.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
And I'm still a firm believer that if you're going to do something, do it to the fullest.
Right.
So, but yeah, a lot of the audit videos I watch go into the postal services and they get harassed and, oh, we don't like photographing here. It's perfect. It's actually on their wall that they could photograph in there. And half of them don't know it and they're like, well, I don't want to be photographed anyway. Well, if you just shut up and do your job there and don't draw attention to yourself, you're probably not going to be on camera.
Right.
Or if you're on camera, it's going to be like just that guy just walked by.
Yeah.
So number 17, this is who you utilize, Wells Fargo. They're how do you think?
I've had good and bad experiences with them. I've been with them, I've pretty much had an account with them for all my life. I mean, granted, like the first, 15 years, it was just a savings account, but I've always been a long time customer and, they've helped me out sometimes with like late charges or overdraft fees. But then, it comes back to saying, with the extensions, don't get greedy. So there's been a few times where they've said, unfortunately we can't do that. And of course I'm like, well, damn it anyway, but I get it. But
Well, and that goes to, I guess these ratings too are generally if you're very happy with someone, most people don't, reach out and say, yeah, I love them. They're great. Most of the time you only hear when something's bad. So,
right.
Kind of take the ratings as a grain of salt here. So, but yeah, 17 is Wells Fargo. 16 is Walmart. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, no.
Walmart has a tendency of really abusing their rules. They have police officers in there or sheriff's departments in there in most of their stores, which I kind of disagree with. They're a company. They shouldn't be able to pay a police officer or sheriff's department, highway patrol, or anybody in there to do that. I don't think police officers should moonlight as security in some of these big stores, because then it's kind of confusing where police powers still exist or it's company,
Yeah, I can see that.
So, here's one right up yours. Number 15 is Allegiant Air.
Oh, yeah.
What is Allegiant Air?
It's one of those low-cost carriers, kind of like Spirit Airlines, where, they fly to these good destinations, like out of, for Omaha, I think they fly like 1 or 2 times a week going there, and then 1 or 2 times coming back. So it's really not like, and it's like a Tuesday coming back Thursday, so you can't really get a whole weekend.
Okay, it looks like one of the main topics here is the check-in agent will be rude to you for coming too early.
That's interesting.
Number 14 is right up your alley too here.
Oh yeah.
United.
That's kind of surprising actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they normally one of the better ones?
Well, and that's kind of, where everybody has their bad apples, everybody has their good apples too. You get good and bad with all the airlines.
So, in your opinion, what's the worst airline? Spirit's getting a bad rap right now. I know that.
Yeah, so Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest. Southwest used to be good with their nonstop, but they had it locked on with their. That's what we used to use when we used to have my daughter fly from here to California when she was a kid.
Yeah.
We wanted we didn't want her getting off an airplane when she was a kid. I mean, she was flying as an unaccompanied minor, and then there was an agent that would check them in, make sure that she was on the plane, and then walk her off. So I mean, they had that service,
Yeah.
which was great. I don't know. So
They don't do that anymore.
yeah, that's unfortunate because that's what
Yeah.
we love the most.
Yeah.
So who's the best? Who do you think is the best? Who do you have the least problems working with?
I would say right now I've had some pretty good luck with Delta,
Okay.
and with United.
Okay.
We're trying to stay away from American right now.
So Americans on the bottom of your guys' list.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, number 13, Twitter. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
They've gotten a lot of heat from both ends. They tried to do a little bit into the political kind of avenue, and I think they blocked Trump from tweeting,
Yeah.
which people disagreed with.
What kind of customer service would they offer other than like?
Well, I mean, if it's like an overall customer, they block you or they don't like a tweet you
Oh,
said, they're going to
okay.
block you, and then probably the steps you have to go through to try to reestablish your account, or
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me. 13 tweeter, yeah. Number 12 is doesn't surprise me either. It really
Yeah.
doesn't. McDonald's number 12.
Really?
Yeah. You don't see that?
Well, that could be any place that you go nowadays. I mean,
Yeah, but McDonald's seems to be the worst. McDonald's needs a third window. Becky's correct. McDonald's needs a third window. See, you pay in the first window, you get your items in the second window, and you return the wrong items to the third window to get the correct items. That's the way it should be at McDonald's.
yeah.
Tell me you're wrong. I mean, how many times have they messed up the order? I mean, we even did it with DoorDash. Did we get our fries?
No, we got a refund.
Yep. So we had to get a refund because we didn't get our fries.
Yeah.
I can't eat a refund.
No.
I'm hungry. And then you're going to be hangry.
Yeah.
And then I'm not
And then-
going to be nice.
And then I have to deal with you.
Right. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants me hangry.
No.
Number 11, Econoline. Econo Lodge.
Yeah, they're pretty on your low on the man on the totem
Cheap.
pole.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
What do you
They're-
expect when your room is $14 a night
Yeah.
when every other place is like 100?
Yeah. And no, you can't get $14 rooms.
There used to. I remember seeing the sign in San Diego, or not in San Diego, in Kansas City. They had one of their hotels. It was the American Inn, $29.99.
Wow.
Wow.
You're not going to get good service there.
No.
You're getting cheap.
Yeah.
Super 8 is number 10.
Same thing, pretty much.
Yeah, same thing.
Older
Super 8.
hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Older
get what pay
hotels.
for. You don't pay much, you're gonna not get much either.
How about number 9?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good one too. Yeah.
How is Frontier? Frontier Airlines.
Luckily, I don't book them that often, but I've heard.
So they're so bad you don't even book them.
Yeah, they're also considered like a low cost carrier. But yeah, they.
That growl, if you heard it, was Sadie not getting petted.
Sorry, everybody.
So no,
yeah.
Frontier Airlines. They're low cost.
They're a low cost carrier.
They're your Super 8 of the airlines.
They're up there with Spirit and Allegiant. I think what put them on that list is they, I think, outsourced a lot of their customer service, or they went to pretty much not having anybody to
Oh
provide
yeah, I guess you can't provide customer service if you don't have anybody there to represent
Yeah.
you. Number 8 actually is kind of surprising. LinkedIn. I didn't realize that they would actually be on the list. So number 8. I mean,
Yeah.
that just seems. I've never had a problem with LinkedIn.
I
You
haven't
mean
either.
You mean the dinosaur app?
Well, it's for older people. It's for jobs.
That's a job website?
Yeah, LinkedIn is so you could get a job. That's why you don't know what it is.
No, it's more of a marketing tool.
Is it a market? I thought people go there to put themselves out there because they were looking for a job.
Well, yeah, so kind of marketing yourself.
Yeah, you're marketing yourself to the
Yeah.
job world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know several people that have LinkedIn profiles. I've never heard any issues. Yeah, number 7. This doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
Number 7 is Facebook.
Yeah.
They're so big. I mean, they're at the point where they're just huge. I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't use Facebook.
Right. What I've heard about them is like, if you like lost your password or you got locked out of your account, I've heard that's really hard to get your like account reactivated or anything like that. But that's kind of weird because I think now it's like really easy to change your password if you don't know it.
Well, these I think were back from 2020. So,
Oh,
I mean, if they made
yeah.
some changes. Number 6, Motel 6.
Again, you pay for what you get.
That's quite a bit less than Motel 8, though. I
Yeah.
mean, Motel 8 is better than Motel 6.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a couple. We drove by a Motel 6, and I'm like, are we staying there? And you're like, no. I'm like, the sigh of relief. Yeah. Number 5. We talked about them.
Oh yeah, Spirit Airlines.
Spirit Airlines is number 5.
Yeah, I had an incident with them just recently too where I had a reservation, and again, we don't book them that often, so I had to call and cancel it. And the agent told me, yeah, it's been canceled. You're good to go. We're going to refund your ticket. Great. So then, I don't know, it was about 5-10 minutes before I was actually supposed to get off work. I received a call back from them. And they're like, well, you canceled your reservation. We can't refund it. I'm like, no, you canceled it. I called you. You canceled it. Well, and then I sat on like 30 minutes for a supervisor so they could manually refund it for me. I was like livid.
Yeah, I think what it says here is, in case you lose your luggage, you might as well forget ever recovering it. So your luggage will take a long vacation on Spirit.
Well, Delta thing, they used to be known for don't expect your luggage to arrive.
Who was that? Delta?
Delta.
Oh, they had that little acronym.
Yep.
Oh, well, I guess they're doing better than Spirit.
They're better.
Let's see. Going into number 4, looks like we're gonna start getting into some of the internet.
Yeah.
CenturyLink, number 4.
Interesting.
I know someone that works for CenturyLink.
We do. We'll have to ask them about that.
Yeah, we might have to ask them about that because we'll see. Yeah, they're saying here, the cheaper rates might entice you, but expect a lot of downtime on your internet. So it sounds like their internet's not where it should be.
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing that with CenturyLink here. They promise you like these good speeds. They're like, oh yeah, we get your speed in this area for this. And then when you start getting the service, you realize it's not there.
Yeah. And that kind of comes with the next company on that list.
Yep, and that's actually who we use, Cox Communications.
Good old Cox.
I think I've had it out with Cox a few times.
You have.
So apparently they were going to do some service at our house here. They didn't tell us what they were doing. So all of a sudden we just had people just showing up our house that wanted to tear up our yard and mark and do everything. I'm like, no one told me anything. I think I turned one person away, and they're like, we're supposed to mark. I'm like, I'm not getting any. There's nothing going on. And then so it was a big deal. It was just a nightmare. The problem is they don't give anything for customers that have been here for a while. I mean, that's what really starts to irk me is, our bill just keeps going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And the only way to get a good deal or anything is stop it and move on.
Yeah.
So we just use it for internet now.
Mm-hmm.
which we don't really have that much issues for.
No, I think it's pretty good.
It works. It's better. It's actually better than CenturyLink, which is good. I think we're waiting for like Google Fiber to come out in our area.
Yep.
They were already starting laying the groundwork here in Omaha. So
Yeah, I think they have in Bellevue too. That's what they're doing out there.
yep, I think they're working Bellevue and then working around. So we'll see. That might be the nail in the coffin for Cox for us. I mean,
Yeah.
we got away from their TV because it's just too expensive.
Yeah. So
number 2, Frontier Communications. So
have no idea who they are.
so that's the big thing with a lot of these carriers. So the major carriers for these are CenturyLink, Comcast, Roadrunner.
Okay.
You've heard Roadrunner
Yeah.
before, right? I think there's like Comcast. So they're and Frontier's one of the other ones. They're just in certain regions. So
Yeah.
they all kind of have their blocked regions, and that's kind of what they're doing. So they're on the list here. And then number 1, Mediacom. Have you ever heard of them?
I haven't heard of them either.
It looks like they're another internet service. They'll promise you 500 megabytes, Mbps, but you'll receive 300. Well, that's not that bad, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
I think part of the problem is like they're trying to make all this technology so much better that they keep upping it and upping it and upping it. And it's like, take a couple steps back, make what you have like good before you try doing more to it and then just make it worse.
well, I guess that's the same thing I have with the cell phone carriers.
Yeah.
There's some areas we go that we just don't get coverage in.
Yeah.
But I always hear, oh well, we're always up. They're always upgrading, always, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But I don't know. We live in a here. I want this instant now. We
Yeah.
live in that instant gratification, and I think you take any of these kids nowadays, and Mikey, they're and this is going to go right to you. Okay, if you decide to download a song, how long does it take you?
No clue.
You don't download any music or videos or anything?
No.
Wow, okay. See, nowadays you could download a music file or something within a matter of minutes. Like, I know you've downloaded your ringtones and stuff like that on your phone at one point. So,
Those were like from a website, and that was like it transferred to my files within matters of seconds.
right. See, back in the day when the internet was first born, we used to have this little, like, box, it's a modem, and it made a horrible screeching sound.
Dial up.
Yep. It made a horrible screeching sound. And if you found a song you liked and you wanted to download it, you did it. It was the last thing you did during the day because you started your download so you go to bed because it took 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
And if you did anything on the internet to interrupt that, it will error. Do you remember that? Or you're after dial-up?
I remember dial-up. We just didn't really like download much.
Oh, yeah, it takes 3 days. I mean, 3 days if you wanted a good file. I mean, man, I tell you, we'd have a queue. We could get a queue. There was a program that we used to download to get a queue, and it'll tell you, this will take 3 days. And I'm like, great, I'm be gone out of this weekend. And then I will tell you, many times you come back and internet service went down or anything. You lost everything.
Ooh.
You didn't get anything. And you had to start all the way over.
Yeah, I heard that was like it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like you would be on the internet, you can't use your landline phone. Websites would randomly crash.
Oh, yeah.
The horror.
You remember chat rooms?
Yeah.
They used to have like, chat rooms random chat rooms that you go talk to random people.
Yeah.
Those used to be huge. You missed all that.
Yeah.
You're not sad you missed it, I'm sure.
No. Maybe it was for the better.
Yeah. No, I remember those chat rooms, and that's the birthplace of a lot of the emojis that we did.
Yeah.
Emojis used to be like the semicolon with a They didn't. You knew you had to use your imagination. They weren't these like colorful things that they are now.
Yeah.
No, I still use some of those like semicolon with like
You don't even
The
know what the stuff is
parentheses-
called. The
the
parentheses.
parentheses. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. So you didn't even know what they were.
no. Well, I don't know if they were called something different on a keyboard.
Well, they're
No.
called the same thing. That's on a keyboard or a phone. It's the same thing.
Keyboard on a phone is the same as a keyboard.
Just
as a keyboard.
just a digital keyboard. So yeah, I remember there used to be a time where if we wanted a song on the radio, and I've done this, I remember calling into the radio station and saying, "Hey, can you play this song?" And they say, "Yep, we'll get to it." And then you had to sit by that radio with your hand on the record button, and as soon as you heard your song play, you hit the record. And
I remember doing that too.
you prayed you had a good radio announcer that didn't talk halfway through your song.
Yeah.
They would just talk halfway through your song.
Oh yeah, some of those radio show hosts is like, they start playing the song, and then they will talk right up to the very first person, right well, because normally the song has intro music. You have you could start hearing the song. That's how you knew it was your song. Those first things you're, oh, that's my song. And then you're sitting there saying, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Okay, record. And they talk about, Michael requested this song going out to the wonderful, lovely lady he was dating at the time. Here's your song, Michael. And right away it started. And I'm like, you idiot, I was trying to record that. Or they do it at the end.
Yeah.
They do it on that, and I'm like, it was annoying. So you hoped you had a good radio announcer. I think some of them knew what you're doing. Hey, can you play this song? Yep, I'll play it next. Any dedication? Nope, I just want to hear it. That was key. That was key. That you're telling that radio person, I'm going to record this without telling them you're going to record this. Some of them got the hint, some of them didn't.
I always like the one where you're trying to like the weekly countdown, and you were always waiting for that song, and you had to like hit record and hope they introduce it beforehand. So you're like, oh, ready, set, go.
It was a timing thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you had to really work that cassette, and
Oh yeah.
once you had that song, I mean, if something happened to that tape, you had to do all that again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no like little thumb drives that you could just like have it and go, yeah, I'll just get this new song.
Hearing that, I think I would rather have heard it on a record player than that. But
When you're, I don't know, what, 14, 15, 16, you had to get a ride up to the record store if you wanted to get that.
Yeah.
And you generally had an allowance to do that. So, and I remember you get a lot of those going. So it was kind of crazy. You had you had a list in order for you to buy a record or a CD or anything like that. There had to be, what was your criteria? Did you have a criteria? I had a criteria. I had to know at least three, really, really like three of their songs, and have a couple of them yep, I know that song.
Yeah.
It was never just A and B. I had to know 3 or 4 good songs, and I had to really like the person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was no. I'll get the one. I'm not gonna spend $15 on a CD for one song I liked. Just wasn't going to do it.
Right.
And then do you remember trying to burn CDs?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And burning them from a cassette was just a nightmare, because it was, you have no idea what you get when you have a cassette and a pencil. You don't understand the correlation of those two, do you?
no.
You do, don't
I
you?
do, yeah.
So this cassettes used to have this film in there. And every once in a while, if you didn't clean your stereo or it got some dust in there or anything like that, that tape would come out. And then you had to pull it all out, and then you used a pencil to turn it to slowly get it back in. And
Or just your finger.
I didn't have small fingers.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's where you girls may have had a little easier. We used to have to use a pencil, and you just and then you pray that it didn't kink
Didn't
that
break.
cord or break. So yeah, that was now that that's what I'm talking about. Good customer service. When you got that DJ that said, "I got you," they knew.
Yep.
So yeah. Blockbuster, I always had good customer service from Blockbuster. If they would have just bought Netflix like they
Yeah.
should have in the beginning.
Well, see, they like their jobs because they got to see all new movies, so they like their jobs.
Yeah, well, yeah, because then they got their pick. They had their wall. Remember, this is Stacy's picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I will tell you that maybe that's what it is. The perks for that job is, well, I think they got all the movies that came out first free. So I think it was any of the new releases came out before they actually put it. Some of them would take them home, watch the movie, and then
Yeah.
go through it. And I think the company kind of liked them doing that because, they're like, okay, that's kind of cool. So yeah,
And that goes back to airline employees. They used to get really good perks, and they don't get them anymore. So yeah, they don't like their jobs anymore.
so does that mean that like, well, yeah, okay, so that if you don't have good perks for your jobs, you're not going to provide. That makes sense for Walmart. I mean, they're doing away with all their cashiers.
Yeah.
I mean, and then when they do have a cashier, it's like one or two, and they're like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I kind of see that when you start taking perks away, or you start taking incentives for them to work or provide. You're relying purely on who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start cutting people's pay, or you start giving, we get bonuses at work. But I tell you, if you could get paid the same amount going to work at McDonald's than what I get paid now, if McDonald's paid the same as was what I got paid, and I had to deal with some stuff I deal with this job, that becomes not worth it.
Right.
So, I mean, now I remember you telling me stories about you having better perks because you guys used to, some of you guys used to get, perks for flying, didn't you?
Oh yeah. When I first started out, the company I worked for, we got a free set of tickets every year. I remember one year me and my mom went to Boston. The next year we went to Vancouver and Seattle, and then Boston one other year. So,
Wow.
I mean, it was
Well-
nice. I didn't have to pay for the airline ticket.
Right, and so what that did was that made you want to keep working for the company,
Right.
which means you're going to do good, and then you were sitting there thinking, whew, where are we going to go next year? Mm-hmm. Hey mom, where do you want to go next year?
Yep.
So yeah, that's companies don't do that anymore.
They don't.
That could be the problem. That's you get what you pay for.
Yep.
Like I said, everything on that list was really companies that I mean, what's really the difference between Target and Walmart? Prices.
Yeah.
Target's a little more expensive.
And they have a little bit better quality stuff too. I mean, not a big difference, but they do have some better stuff.
Right. But I mean, if you're just looking for something cheap just to get you through, like Chris has a fridge sitting in his downstairs in his basement that's older than all of us.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things that they don't they don't make that stuff anymore.
They don't. Yeah.
I
They just
mean-
don't make stuff the way they used to.
I wish they would. I mean, now everything's disposable. I mean, their cell phones have a shelf life of like no time.
Yeah. 2
You know.
years and you're done.
Yeah. Well, they want to sell you a new cell phone. They're not like making quality products anymore. Let's be honest. So,
No.
that's why people go to Walmart and just it's not going to last anyway. Maybe the other stuff may last another extra year or two, but we live in now a disposable society now,
We do, yeah.
which is probably why Spirit is still still in business, because their rates are probably cheaper.
Yeah.
So now Southwest gets a lot of rap for not, I guess, canceling your ticket or not, delaying you or something like that, didn't they? Who got in trouble for that? I thought it was Southwest that you'd get on the plane and then next thing you know, they're like, well, we have a crew that needs to fly, so we're bumping you.
That's happened at all airlines have had that issue.
So why should I give up my seat that I paid for and inconvenience my time because they couldn't plan getting their crew where they need to go?
Well, things happen again. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen.
So if I book an airline and let's say we're going to take a cruise, okay, this is a good customer service scenario here. We're booking a cruise, so we have to fly out of here at Omaha. Our cruise ship leaves there at 5:00. We're going to take the earliest flight out of here in Omaha or Kansas City, whichever one's going to fly us the quickest. I'll drive to Kansas City to fly out of there if I have to. We've done it in the past.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave here at 8:00 and land, so we're there by noon. Plenty of time to get on the ship. And then the airline says, nope, we could fly you out tomorrow. What then?
So unfortunately, that's one of those things that, you can get on a plane and sit down to somebody and you may have paid $200 less than them. And since you paid $200 less than them, they're going to bump you first. Most of the time they'll give you some sort of compensation, but it just depends.
But their bumping could cause my whole vacation to be ruined.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if I pay, don't sell the $200 ticket.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So because I got a better deal, if I got a comp code or if I use points, I get bumped.
Possibly.
See, there's where the poor customer service comes in. Mm-hmm. That's why I saw so many airlines on that list. I'm willing to bet that's because they do that. I mean, well, you paid, but now our crew needs a fly, or this guy paid $500 tickets, so you're going to get bumped. Yeah. And then, like I said, that could completely. The ship's going to take off at 5:00.
Yeah.
If I fly in there tomorrow, I still paid for that.
Yeah. Most of the times they get volunteers before it comes to that point where they have to, because they'll offer, $100, hundreds of dollars for you to give up your seat on this flight if it's full. So, I mean, some people take it and they hope people take it. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't, and that's when they kick somebody off.
See, now, I remember hearing some kind of story, and it was a husband, wife, and they had 2 kids. Mm-hmm. So what they did was they bumped the kids. So they said, okay, the kids, we need their seats. And the parents are like, well, I can't just leave them at the airport.
Yeah.
We have to get off. Are you going to refund us our tickets? And they said, no, we didn't bump you. I mean, I guess
that's just bad.
That's a horror. I mean,
that's a horror story.
So I think what they ended up doing, this family ended up saying, well, what if the dad and one of the kids stays back, mm-hmm. and the mom and the one, so because it was 2 seats. They needed 2 seats. And the airline didn't really want to do it at first. And then they said, well, fine, I guess if that's going to get us in the air, that'll work. So they finally, they agreed to it. And then the dad and the other kid that got stuck behind was 2 days behind them. So when they're all going to go see grandma.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so. Biggest problem is dad, and this was not the original destination. This is at one of their so they flew out of where they were. They went into what is it called when you have that, a layover?
A connection
A
city.
connection city.
Yeah.
Okay. The connection city is when this happened. So
Oh.
dad and this kid is stuck there. Now I remember them saying that the airline paid for their hotel.
Yeah.
So I do remember that, so they were stuck there. They had to get a taxi going back and forth, and the airlines just said, "Well, just show up." So they spent all day at the airport waiting to see if they could get on the next flight. Oh, nope, sorry, nope, sorry, nope, sorry, for 2 days. 2 days, and then they finally said, "Oh, yeah, we get you on the flight." And then, so out of a 5-day vacation, now dad and this other kid has 3 days with grandma.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
crazy.
that to me, that's poor customer service. Don't If you need a couple seats for flight attendants or moving pilots or something, I get that. Don't sell those seats,
Right.
or pick a flight that is not full.
Yeah. Or don't overbook.
Don't overbook.
That would be too easy.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that, like, I know Walmart has their sales, and they're on the bad list too. But can you imagine going through and seeing that? I mean, you go through Walmart and no registers. You're like, this is crazy. And the line's like 27 people deep.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the persons in the cart in front of you, and you could tell that it's like things are overflowing out of their cart. You're like, you're going to be here forever.
Right.
Or if they have, like I said, they have a sale, and now this goes back to, now Walmart has done this. There's been a couple employees that wanted an item on sale, so they pull it back off the back and move it in the back for them because they can't buy it yet.
Yeah.
They have to buy it. I guess some sales have to buy afterwards. So yeah, that could be that goes back to, are you sure you don't have any in the back?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, we got 3 more plane seats in the back. Well, that I could understand if they're saving seats for crew, but they don't do that.
Yeah, they
So,
don't.
all right, that's our customer service after show.
It is.
You getting used to talking now?
A little bit.
Mikey did a little talking too.
A little bit.
So, these are the wonderful things that you will deal with as you're growing up.
Adulting.
Yeah, adulting.
It's fun.
I can't wait.
No, yeah. Adulting can be real fun sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that's our show. What's our next show is going to be massage.
Massages, yep.
All right. What's the after show going to be like?
Don't know yet.
Special massagey?
Maybe. Probably not.
Probably not. I think that would cover more in our a couple other topics down the road, I'm sure. So, all right, that's our after show. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Alrighty, bye everybody.